KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A new chapter begins today in San Antonio. Gina Ortiz-Jones takes the oath and the spotlight as the city's next mayor. This morning, we're getting ready for the historic moment with some final words from soon-to-be former mayor Ron Nirenberg.
After last week's deadly floods caught San Antonians off guard, the city's flood response under fire by one local leader isn't holding back.
And bananas, nuts, and muscle relaxers? Police are investigating bizarre banana bread sold in an area fast food restaurant parking lot laced with pills. Was it a dangerous prank or something more?
Yikes. That is tough. Don't you eat banana bread for breakfast this morning?
And I like banana bread, but not laced.
Exactly.
No, exactly. So with that, we welcome you into the Wednesday GMSA.
Let's get right over to meteorologist Justin Horn talking about the weather. Obviously, it's been warm, but we're in those kind of months right now.
We're settling into a pretty typical summer pattern, even though we're not officially in summer yet. That happens on Friday, but we got some interesting stuff to show you this morning. First off, let's start with the water vapor imagery, and we've got our heat high that is settling in across the desert southwest. It's helping to bring some storms to parts of North Texas, but not us. There's enough influence here where it's going to keep our rain chances rather low. Can't rule out a stray shower along the coast next couple days, but generally speaking, it's just going to be hot and humid. We'll start off with some clouds this morning, mostly cloudy, and then mostly sunny this afternoon. We should be up around 93, which is where we were yesterday. Heat index values right around 100 for most of us, if not a little bit higher, depending on where you are. Hey, we have a tropical storm out in the Pacific. This is Tropical Storm Eric. Winds are at 65 miles per hour. It's moving northwest at about 7 miles per hour. And this is going to have an effect on Mexico, the west coast of Mexico. Coming up, we'll show you the track and how much rain they may see on the west coast of Mexico. Plus, we got a cool comparison showing you just how green things are right now. All coming up here in just a few minutes. But we got to talk traffic now, get you out the door. If you're an early commuter, what are you guys seeing?
Well, we're seeing right now the traffic map, right, and just for housekeeping purposes, Devin's out today, and RJ will be back tomorrow. Mercifully, RJ will be back tomorrow. He's enjoying a well-deserved little time off here. But right now, just showing you the map, and Devin talked a lot about this yesterday on the northeast side. Right about here, a lot of construction, and you can see as we zoom in, just the red right there already. This is all construction work, but he was talking about later in the morning drive times incoming into town and upwards of an hour and everything. So you can see that right now. On the cameras outside, though, nothing really of interest to see. No major accidents to report right now. Everything looks pretty good. Obviously, it's still early, so some overnight construction. There I am. But this is the big traffic headline right now on the northeast side. Again, this is all construction, but no major accidents to report. So as soon as that changes, we'll be sure to let you know. We'll have another traffic update coming up in just a little bit.
Is out on the roadways
Thank you, yes.
speak, so let's rock on out to him. Alex, good morning. Happy Hump Day.
Japhanie, good morning. Happy Hump Day. Yeah, we're starting off the morning accident-free. Right now, things are looking very smooth. I'm just north of downtown right now, 281 southbound near Josephine Street. So far, I'm going to make my rounds, check out those construction hot spots, but I'll make my way to the northeast side and see how things are looking. But for right now, downtown area is still looking very smooth, Japhanie.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. We'll check in with you. And of course, as always, stay safe.
All right, well, today is the day the city of San Antonio will have a new leader. Gina Ortiz-Jones will be officially sworn in as mayor of San Antonio. The inauguration ceremony will start at 6 o'clock at City Council chambers. Other elected city council members will also be sworn in. I'll be emceeing all of that later on this evening, but you can watch it tonight live on air and on KSAT+.
So meanwhile, Ron Nirenberg is getting ready to close out his time as mayor, and he joined us last night and last time on our KSAT Q&A segment officially as mayor, as we weren't going to let Mayor Ron Nirenberg leave our studio empty-handed. Just take a look.
We've got a gift here. Will you pick that up?
Am I supposed to open this?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
I won't give up my coffee habit, I can tell you
there
that.
you go.
So,
there you go. We're not done yet, though.
It wouldn't be complete with a homemade thermometer, 100%
wow.
homemade.
It's been an honor to work with you all.
So Mayor Nirenberg started appearing in our Q&A segment back in 2020, and we want to thank him for his commitment to our community.
So meanwhile, Gina Ortiz-Jones stopped by KSAT recently to talk about her priorities for the city. It's an extended full interview. You can watch it on our website anytime. Just scan the QR code there on your bottom of the screen.
All right. At the same time, we got 2 city council members now being cited for violating city ethics rules while campaigning. The Ethics Review Board has ruled that District 1 Councilwoman Sue Cord and District 10 Councilman Mark White both misused city resources for private purposes, including political campaigns. White will receive a letter of reprimand, a $2,500 fine, and he must complete ethics training, while Cord is only being required to complete those ethics training. This ruling came just a day before they're sworn in for a second term that runs through May 29th. An improper relationship with a student leads to the arrest of a teacher and coach in Kerr County. Medina ISD confirming to KSAT that Bradley Love worked as an educator and is listed as a head basketball coach on the district's directory. According to Kerr County records, Love was arrested and charged. He has already posted bond and was released. Now, in a statement released by Medina ISD, the district stated in part, quote, Mr. Love began working for the district in August of 2024 and served as a teacher and coach. The Medina School District is cooperating with law enforcement in Kerr County to ensure a full investigation, end quote. It's unclear if Love is still employed with the district.
All right, he's accused of threatening protesters on YouTube. This is 48-year-old Travis Hayson, and according to arrest paperwork, he's now charged with making a terroristic threat. So the affidavit goes on to say that Hayson made comments like, quote, Texas just got a new hunting season and bring on the race war, end quote. In fact, investigators highlighted 17 comments between May 30th and June 11th that referenced mass violence. Google and YouTube reported those comments to the FBI.
Happening today, there will be a vigil honoring the 13 lives lost in last week's floods. It's scheduled to start at 8 p.m. on the northwest side at the address you see on your screen. Organizers are inviting everyone in the community to come out and pay their respects. Now, even after almost a week, people still have questions about the floods. The Stormwater Management Advisory Board is calling on the city to create a, quote, better master plan for future projects. Last night, the group met with the city's Public Works and Water Authorities team to the board chair, Nefi Garza, and says that the city needs better communication with agencies like TxDOT to prevent another deadly event.
As anything with a tragedy like that, we want to learn from it so that it doesn't happen in other parts of the city. What happened in that area? Why wasn't communication shared with those drivers? And how can we prevent that?
Both San Antonio and Bexar County are now issuing a joint disaster declaration and requesting help from Governor Abbott in response to last week's storms. Mayor Ron Nirenberg saying in part, quote, magnitude of the disaster requires state level support, end quote. Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai saying in part, quote, we are taking action to ensure that we have the necessary resources for our community's recovery, end quote. The city and county are also asking the governor to issue successful declarations as needed for potential future storms that may impact the San Antonio area.
It's kind of weird for it not to be intentional if you actually bake a pill inside of bread and sell it to somebody for them to consume. I mean, what else would it be?
It was a recipe for bad things, bananas, nuts, and muscle relaxers. We're talking about this banana bread that Pleasanton police are investigating right now. They warned about bread possibly being sold in the city that may contain a foreign substance. And you see the white specks in the pictures right there. Turns out that they are tizanidine pills. That's a type of muscle relaxer. So the bread was sold in a fast food restaurant parking lot. So far, it's still unclear how the relaxers got baked into the bread, but officers do not believe this was an accident. Right now, Pleasanton police are encouraging people not to buy anything from parking lot entrepreneurs.
We got some intense airstrikes that lit up the skies over Iran's capital overnight as tensions between Israel and Iran enter a 6th day of escalating violence. Israel says that it's responding to Iranian missiles attacks aimed at Tel Aviv. Explosions there could be heard for miles. The U.S. is now moving military assets into the region to support Israel and defend its own forces. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump issued a stark warning to Iran's supreme leader, saying the U.S. knows his location, but has no plans to strike, at least for now.
And the president says ICE will continue to conduct immigration raids at farms, hotels, and restaurants. That's a change from last week when he vowed to protect migrants in these industries because of worker shortages. It comes as ICE is dealing with the fallout of another arrest of a public official. New York City's top financial officer, who is running to be its next mayor, was handcuffed and arrested by federal agents while guiding a defendant out of immigration court on Tuesday. ICE agents detained Brad Lander, who is the city's comptroller, for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer. Lander, who was later released, said he certainly did not assault an officer.
Right outside with live cam, it is another cloudy, humid morning. Temperatures, though, are heating up in the Gulf of Mexico. What does that mean for the tropics? We do have a tropical storm to talk about, not in the Atlantic, but in the Pacific. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
TikTok dodges the ban for now. Why the White House is hitting pause and what it means for you and your favorite app's future.
And it's a fight over hemp and THC worth billions to businesses and life-changing for some families. Coming up, the parents begging the governor not to sign this bill.
Well, the countdown is on. We got Governor Greg Abbott only has 4 days left to veto Senate Bill 3, or it automatically goes into law.
Now, the bill would ban all ingestible hemp products with THC. Products with just CBD would not be banned.
I think Senate Bill 3 is all about closing this loophole that is literally swallowing our next generation.
Though it got enough votes to make it to Abbott's desk, there have been waves of protests against it. KSAT has already reported on business owners who worry the ban will wipe out an $8 billion industry in the state.
We also talked to veterans who rely on these products, and now our Courtney Friedman brings us another side of the story. Parents with severely autistic children who depend on THC just to function.
Jonathan Nguyen loves adventure, technology.
Hey Siri, what time is it right now?
It's 5:02 p.m. And he can pick up melodies within seconds.
Can you play Lady Gaga?
He's 19, but with severe autism, he's emotionally around 7 years old, and life didn't always look like this.
When puberty hit, our world turned upside down to the point where we thought about committing him. He became violent. He's 6'5". Some of the medicines actually made him more agitated and more violent.
Jonathan's mom, Mary Nguyen, is a family doctor who got a master's in medical cannabis science once she saw how THC products changed her son's life.
Just show him where it is. Pull it up. There you go. Good job.
Twice a day, he takes a combination of 2 THC oils. One part of the state's medical marijuana program and one that you could get at a store around town.
It's a combination that really helps him.
But the full spectrum oil could soon be banned, along with all other ingestible THC, if Governor Abbott does not veto Senate Bill 3 by Sunday.
So which one would be banned?
This one. Yeah, this one would be banned.
And that's the one you started with?
Yes. And for those who are not as severe, don't have severe symptoms, this is sometimes all they need.
Are you worried about your son?
I'm worried about my son, and I'm worried about my other patients who cannot afford medical THC.
If the governor sees this, what would you want to tell him?
Please don't take away a medication that can help our families become whole again.
Courtney Friedman.
We're by ourselves, Jonathan.
KSAT 12 News.
City Council District 3 hosted a senior swim pilot program event at Kingsborough Swimming Pool on the south side. The goal is to promote health, wellness, and social engagement among seniors in our community.
It's going to be 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 11. It's just an hour, but we know that seniors can come in and get a good 30-minute workout, swim, wait around. If people know how to do some water aerobics, we've got plenty of room for them to sit at one side of the pool and kind of do water aerobics, maybe get some friends together. So we're excited about that.
The swim session focused on physical fitness, improving mobility, and more. If you're a senior and would like to join, you can register on the city's webpage.
Okay, another quick check of the traffic outside. Again, you can see on the map there a lot of green, except on the northeast side of town there, that little spot of red. And again, that's all construction. Devin talked a lot about that yesterday when he was here. The southbound lanes of 35 coming in there just off to 1604, some ongoing construction that, again, at peak yesterday morning, some of those drive times were pushing an hour for people who were coming in from the Austin area. So just be mindful of that if that is where your commute is taking you this morning. Otherwise, looking pretty good on the roads right now. We'll check in with Alex Gomez coming up in just a little bit and see what else is happening out on the roads.
Yeah, good morning, Ernie and Japhanie. So for right now, I just made it to the southeast side. This is going to be I-37 near Military Drive. And yeah, there's no issues over here. The east side's pretty much clear. I took 410 all the way down from BAMC to I-37. So again, no issues. I'm going to keep driving around in great driving conditions, dry roads. So I'm going to send it back to you until I find something, Ernie.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for keeping us honest there on the traffic. And we'll check in with him again coming up in just a little bit. But on to the weather with Justin.
Thank you, sir. And we're going to start with the satellite picture. So we can look at nighttime clouds using a special satellite here, and we can see where we have some cloud cover. There's a little bit of it this morning, not a lot. You know, we're kind of grasping at straws here because there's not a lot to look at in our forecast. Things are pretty quiet. So yes, we may start off with some clouds. 77 right now. It's plenty warm. 77 in New Braunfels. And one of the reasons temperatures are quite a bit warmer this morning is we have a good breeze. If you were out and about yesterday evening, you felt that southerly wind. We'll have that again today. Some gusts up to 20, 25 miles per hour. It tends to allow moisture to surge in here too, so it just makes it all that much more sticky. Our forecast today, 93 is where we end up. Heat index will be up around 100. So same song and dance that we saw yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There's just, again, not a lot to the forecast until I think we get into next week. Hey, I want to show you there is a tropical storm out in the Pacific. You got Mexico here. This is Eric. Winds are at 65 miles per hour and moving northwest at 7 miles per hour. This likely becomes a hurricane here very soon. It will be a Category 2 hurricane. Hurricane Center thinks before it makes landfall in Mexico. This is going to bring some pretty heavy rain to Oaxaca and eventually Acapulco as well as it moves off to the north and west. So this is a hurricane that will affect Mexico. If you have plans there to travel there, please note that there could be some pretty heavy rain, not to mention some gusty winds, sustained winds at 85 miles per hour when this eventually makes landfall there on the west coast. And if you're looking at rainfall totals, Acapulco could see north of 6-7 inches of rain when it's all said and done by Friday into Saturday. And then probably some higher totals. Hurricane Center is thinking 20 inches plus there along the coast of Mexico. So there certainly could be some landslides and flooding. Just something to keep in mind. Meantime, as we switch over to the Atlantic, this is the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf, I should say, and we've got temperatures here in the 80s. So we know the water is warm, and so far we have not had any development in the Atlantic yet. We'll see how that unfolds, but we do know we have some of the Saharan dust that is working through, which it's not a big plume, but we may see a little bit of that as we get into the weekend. Probably at this concentration you wouldn't notice it, but it's just something to point out as Saharan dust probably becomes more prominent as we get into the summer months. All right, your 7-day forecast, 10% chance on Thursday and Friday. Then we get into some slightly better chances as we get into next week. But very consistent numbers here.
Yes.
And coming up next half hour, we're going to show you that comparison. If you were watching last night, Adam showed it, but the difference between 2022 versus 2025, when you're looking at the satellite picture from space, it's pretty jarring. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a question for you. And I asked this for a reason, but I won't tell you yet. Okay, so what is the only marsupial native to North America? And of course, marsupial, they have the little pouch. Yeah, exactly. Is it the kangaroo, the porcupine, the koala, or the opossum?
Good question.
Think about it. Okay, go to KSAT.com/poll or scan the QR code. We've already got some votes in there.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
5:22 right now, 77 degrees outside.
All right, from AI layoffs at Amazon to a bold phone ban in Italy and TikTok's ticking clock, the tech world is shifting fast. What it might mean for your job, your kids, and your screen time. Coming up.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon warning its employees of big changes ahead due to AI. The company telling staff to embrace artificial intelligence while warning it could shrink the workforce in the future. In a new memo, Amazon CEO says efficiency gains from AI will mean fewer people doing some current roles. Next, the TikTok ban is about to be delayed yet again. The third extension, set to come in an executive order by President Trump, will allow 3 more months for the app's China-based owner to find an American buyer. Congress passed a bipartisan law last year banning TikTok in the U.S. Finally, the new school year will bring a big change to schools in Italy, a complete ban on cell phones. Kids in Italy will not be allowed to have phones in any schools across the entire country, the first type of ban in Europe, aiming to reduce distractions and improve learning. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
All right. You like TikTok?
I'm trying to figure it out still sometimes, but we have people here who are better at it that will help us out. 526 right now, 77 degrees outside.
His trunk went under, but he made it out alive. Up next, we'll hear from the San Antonio dad who's grateful to be here despite losing everything in the flood last week. And good morning, coming up on 5:30 right now. And again, thanks so much for waking up with us with so much to talk about today.
Seriously, we have a lot to get to, so hang tight. We'll take good care of you here, and we'll show you the roads in just a little bit. But talking traffic here.
Yes.
Weather, excuse me.
There you go.
I will talk traffic a little bit. I'm excited to do the traffic.
You confused me for a second.
I'm sorry. No, you got the weather.
I got Wednesday bring going on here. Anyway, temperatures today are going to be quite hot across the desert Southwest. We're going to be around 112 in Phoenix, 109 in Las Vegas. If you're headed west, know that the desert heat is on. Again, this is pretty common as we get into June. 93 here in San Antonio. That is a humid 93, though. Heat index values will be around 100 here today. 88 noontime, 92, 2 o'clock, 93 is where we end up. This is almost exactly like yesterday, so a carbon copy here. Rinse and repeat. Pollen count, molds are moderate at 950, but this number's going down. And as long as we get rain-free conditions, which is looking that way, next couple days, molds should continue to drop. Okay, now let's talk traffic. Ernie, now.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
What you got?
I had a teacher years ago who told me one day that he thought I left my brain on my nightstand because it was one of those days where, but I've got it. I'm getting there. All right, back to traffic now. And again, we'll draw your attention to the northeast side here. This is construction. I've got the magic clicker here to show you a little bit of what's going on. Otherwise, you can see the city right now, a lot of green. There was some overnight construction in the downtown area at lower level of 35. But right now, as we draw you in closer to this, in the Live Oak area, again, this is the southbound lanes of 35 coming in. There's 1604 right there. And this is all construction. Again, Devin talked at length about this yesterday, and so that will cause problems for people who are commuting in this morning. All right, to the cameras outside, 35 at Alamo, again, pretty quiet right now, not a lot to see. Both directions at 35, upper and lower levels as you traverse in and out of downtown, looking really good. And just glancing at some of the other cameras we have here, again, we've got upwards of 24 cameras at our disposal, and not a single one of them has anything to report right now, so we'll certainly take that. All right, Alex Gomez is out and about for us as usual on a Wednesday morning. Time to find out where he is and what he is checking out in road cam. Mr. Gomez, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Ernie. Right now, I am checking out the north side. Check out 281 northbound. This is going to be right past the quarry. And like Justin's saying, you know what? It's going to be a carbon copy of traffic as well. I believe the northeast side is going to be our biggest slowdown of the morning. So I'm going to take 281 all the way up to 1604 and then wrap around to the northeast side to see how long it takes me to get through that area, Ernie.
All right, so far so good on this Wednesday morning. We'll continue to check in with Alex and have another update for you traffic-wise coming up in just a few minutes. All right, so he made it through.
There was a moment where I thought the last breath that I'm going to take is coming.
He made it through the flood, and now he's trying to find a way forward. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office says 13 people died from the flooding last week.
But the man that you just heard from there was one of the survivors. Avery Everett shows us how Carlos Quintanilla is starting to rebuild.
I was joyful to spend another Father's Day with my kids. I was saddened hearing some of the people that lost their fathers, their husbands, and then later on that night, just hearing the thunder and watching the lightning, it was a little traumatic, a little taken back.
The shock is wearing off, but Carlos Quintanilla says he can clearly still remember what happened last week.
The highway was stopped. I decided to exit. I was following two vehicles. We're going. And just within a matter of seconds, it went from tire height to my window. A rush of water started coming in. And at that moment, I was like, okay, I gotta get out of here.
He made it out of his truck and clung to a tree to survive. He was later taken to the hospital. When he came back to see his truck again, it was flipped over in the middle of Beidle Creek. Carlos was one of about a dozen victims in last Thursday's flooding near Loop 410 in Perrin Beidle, but he was one of the only ones to survive.
I'm just looking to restart.
He's now trying to get back what he lost in the flood.
My truck, I lost my tools. It's hard to recollect like everything I had in there, a lunchbox that I had, food in and stuff. It's just
because it was supposed to be another day.
It's just about to be a whole nother day. Just go to work, do my thing, come home.
And like so many others, he supports his family, his wife and 3 kids.
What does your family mean to you?
Oh, I mean, they're everything.
Your face immediately lit up when I talked about your family.
I love them.
A father trying to find a way forward after surviving historic rain in San Antonio. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
All right, people in one northeast Bexar County neighborhood seeing light at the end of a big rocky road. So we showed you the situation on Bent Meadow Drive last week. A road construction project had turned a neighborhood street into a muddy, rocky mess. But people told us that they were having trouble driving on it. Some even say that their cars were damaged. But since then, a crew has added smaller rocks to the big ones, making the ride a bit smoother. The next step, though, will be to pave over all of it.
So they told me, the contractor told me that Thursday is the day that this will be all paved over.
That's awesome. You did a wonderful job. That's great.
No, I think it's you guys.
So while homeowners on that street are happy, others in the neighborhood near Converse are now dealing with some of the same problems. Bexar County Public Works says that all of this is part of an 18-month-long project that actually will improve their streets.
The Texas Education Agency has just released the Spring 2025 State of Texas Assessments for Academic Readiness, or STAR, results for grades 3 through 8. This year's results include assessments in reading, language arts, math, science, and social studies for 5th and 8th grades. The news is promising in reading language arts, with students meeting grade levels surpassing pre-pandemic levels. Reading language arts scores improved across nearly every grade level, with grade 5 showing the largest increase of 4 percentage points. Grades 3 and 4 each increased by 3%, grade 8 by 2%. In math, grades 3 and 8 saw notable gains, with students meeting grade level increasing by 4 and 5 percentage points. Science results showed improvement in both tested grades, with grade 5 up by 3% and grade 8 by 4 percentage points. However, grade 8 social studies declined slightly by 1%.
All right, we got a little monkey business to talk about happened locally. And sent shockwaves across the internet yesterday, a young spider monkey safely captured in a northwest side neighborhood. You see the adorable little thing right there on your screen. These photos, though, of that prohibited primate. San Antonio's Animal Care Services says the infant monkey appeared to be less than 6 months old and was found wearing a heavily soiled diaper sitting outside of a home on Lansbury and Waybridge. Now, ACS wants to remind everyone that monkeys, especially like this, are not household pets, and housing primates in San Antonio is against the law. The owner of that monkey that you just saw received 4 criminal citations, including having a prohibited animal within the city limits, allowing the animal to roam the neighborhood, failing to show proof of the animal being vaccinated against rabies, and failing to have the animal microchipped. Okay, moving on into some consumer headlines. Kraft Heinz plans to remove the synthetic dyes from its products. The company announced that it will remove what are called the FD&C colors from its U.S. portfolio before the end of 2027.
The company also said it would not launch any new products in the U.S. with artificial dyes. Kraft Heinz product lineup includes Heinz Ketchup, Jell-O, Capri Sun, and others. According to Kraft Heinz, nearly 90% of its current products are already free of FD&C colors. The move comes as federal health officials under Robert Kennedy Jr. put renewed scrutiny on artificial food dyes due to potential health concerns.
KSAT community partners getting the word out about Project Men's summer donation collection drives. The first Gear Up for Mobility event will take place at New Braunfels City Hall.
It will be Saturday, June 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's where you can donate new or gently used home medical equipment like wheelchairs and power scooters. You can find more at ksatcommunity.com.
It's 77 right now here in San Antonio. We got a cool comparison for you. We're going to be looking from space down on San Antonio. You are going to be really interested to see this, I think, when it comes to the comparison of how green things look now. That's coming up.
From the barn to the big stage, Bexar County students just lassoed over $700,000 in scholarships. You're going to see that emotional moment from a night that they'll never forget.
And right now I'm driving to the side of town where we have the most traffic, the northeast side. After the break, I'll let you know what I see along the way.
I'm just really blessed, really, and I feel like to be able to have this opportunity and to be able to get this help is very helpful, and to kind of take away some of the financial burden on my parents.
I've been involved with this for 10 years. This is just something that gives me that final recognition of all the hard work that I've put in.
Over $700,000. That's how much was awarded to 50 Bexar County students last night in scholarships and grants from the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo.
Yes, those students were involved in the Bexar County 4-H and FFA scholarships, and grants were presented by the rodeo and county officials. So we want to say congratulations to all of those students who were recognized. It takes a lot to get that, and again, a big congratulations to them, and definitely I hope they're on a great path forward in their futures.
Some of those kids probably awake right now, feeding animals or doing whatever they have to do. And the rodeo was in February, obviously.
Right.
And now they're finally seeing the,
fruits of their labor.
The fruits of their labor.
Yes.
Yo, let's check out the roadways real quick to see exactly how fruity we are out there rolling around.
Okay.
Is this a good thing?
That's fine.
When I say fruit, I mean good rewards.
I get what you're saying. I get the fruits of your driving labors. 35 at Alamo out there. Okay. Well, listen, we can have a little levity here because things are looking really good out there on the roads right now as we're cycling through the cameras. 281, 35. Again, that one spot of interest on the northeast side of town is that construction 1604 and 35. The southbound lanes of 35 as you're coming into town. Ongoing construction that's slowing some people down. And if we can isolate it on a camera, we'll show it to you throughout the morning here, especially as the sun comes up. But again, as you can see, everything looking pretty good right now. Alex Gomez is moving and grooving, and I don't think he's run into anything. I hope I'm not jinxing it, Alex, but so far the commute's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, very smooth, very easy going this morning, Ernie. Good morning, and right now I just made it to the far northeast side. This is going to be a 1604 eastbound by Lookout Road. So I'm not too far from I-35, but to get to this point, I took 1604 all the way here from 281, had no issues. So I'm going to get on 35, see if they're any closer to being wrapped up and picking up those barrels and completing their workday. So I'll let you know how I-35 is looking once I get through that area, Ernie.
Alrighty, sir. Thank you very much. Love the perspective from Alex, and as soon as he gets over there, we'll check in with him again coming up at the top of the hour.
And speaking of perspective, Justin Horn coming down with a really cool perspective.
Yeah, check this out. So Adam and Sarah were doing some research yesterday. They came across this satellite picture, and this is pretty cool. So what you're seeing there on the left side of your screen is June 2022. On the right side of your screen is now, and you can see the difference in color. So we're looking down from space here, and you can scroll back and forth, but you can see the difference of the color of the terrain here in South Texas. Rain, as you know, definitely makes a difference here. So everything is far more lush thanks to that 18.93 inches of rain compared to June 2022, where we were still sitting at 4.58 inches. It was just an awful year. So everything is far more greener. You're having to cut your lawn more often, but I don't think we're complaining, right? Outside right now, we are seeing just a few clouds. 77 degrees at the airport, 77 in New Braunfels, 79 Converse, 73 right now in Bernie. And man, it's pretty sticky out there right now. And the dew points are up, and they will be up most of the day. So that means heat index values problem again. This map looks almost exactly like yesterday's. High right around 93 here in San Antonio, triple digits for our friends down to the south and west. And then with the humidity, we'll see that feels like number up around 100 here in town. It will go as high as 105, 106, 107, maybe 108 down there in Cotulla. That's where we'll see our highest heat index values today. And it's all due to our heat high, which, by the way, starts to shift across the state. So that will generally keep us dry. Now, with that being said, can't rule out a shower or two on the coast just because we may get the sea breeze, but anything we'd see would be very short-lived. Bottom line, it's just a hot, humid forecast. Now, next week we do start to see some changes. Our heat high actually shifts way to the north over parts of, say, Indianapolis, maybe even up to Detroit. They're going to probably see hotter temperatures up there than what we're going to see here. A little unusual, but it also opens the door for some deeper moisture to come off from the Gulf of Mexico, which should enhance our rain chances just a smidge. We're talking 20%, but we may have a little more success seeing some of those showers that develop on the coast, making a little further inland. Temperatures today will be hottest out west. I showed you this off the top of the show, but Phoenix 112, 109 in Vegas today. That's where the real heat is. Dry heat. We've got our humid heat here in San Antonio with 93, and you can see the difference here. All the humid air across the eastern half of the country, dew points in the 60s and 70s, and you got the really dry stuff out west, which, you know, dew point at 20 in Vegas is pretty common. 109 doesn't feel as bad when you have a dew point of 20. All right, our extended forecast, 93 tomorrow, 93 Friday. Summer officially begins on Friday, by the way, as we've been saying, our longest day of the year. But look how consistent these temperatures are. Take your pick, 92 or 93. You can have either one. 93 all day, baby.
What?
1993.
Is that because?
Yeah, girl came to the light.
Oh, man. I must prefer my birth year of 82. That's a much better temperature.
That is a better temperature.
All right.
Mine's a lot colder.
Oh, Ernie, come on, man.
Thank you.
What is the only marsupial native to North America? That is our Just Ask Justin question this morning. Your choices are kangaroo, porcupine, koala, or opossum. Right now, opossum's got all the votes. People love them some opossums. You can go vote, ksat.com/poll, or scan the QR code.
Question, are you pronouncing that? Is that possum?
You can say possum.
Okay.
You can say opossum.
Okay.
They're interchangeable, right?
The technical term is opossum. But
Look at
we
that.
say possum.
Okay.
Free information at no additional charge there. 551, 77 degrees outside.
Up next, how you can get your hands on a free honey butter chicken biscuit from the famous Whataburger.
This is Katerina with Leilani, our friends from the Animal Defense League here, and already.
So Leilani is 2 months old and a Husky Shepherd mix, because you would expect Husky just looking at her, but
Right.
Siblings look nothing like each other.
What would be an ideal setting for her, and what do we need to know about in terms of how soon she can be adopted?
Yeah, well, she is actually ready to go. So she's 2 months old, ready to find her forever a home. Definitely going to be a big girl.
Yeah, we see that with the paws,
she
right?
is
Yeah,
growing.
yeah, yeah.
So somebody that's going to be able to have some space for her to run around
Right.
and match her energy. She's a little lax right now, but I know as she gets older,
No, I get it. Well,
she's going to be ready.
That's how I am at 3 in the morning when we're getting started here. I get it. I don't want to look at the camera either. I get it. I totally get it. And you said she's got a sibling.
Yep. So she had a couple siblings actually, and they all look completely
So
different.
we'll see who's the sibling, because we have one of the siblings here, right?
Yes, so she has her vaccines, she has been spayed and microchipped, which is perfect because...
Thank you very much. You just led me right into the next topic
Yes.
here. It is Microchip Month, National
Yes.
Microchipping Month, and there are you guys are always offering promotions and ways for people to save some money.
Yeah, it's a great incentive that we have with the city. So twice a month, we show up all around town, are able to offer free vaccines and microchips to our community. Just another way to make sure your pet is safe and able to return to you if they were to get lost.
Indeed, and mark that date, right? Because it's coming up on the 21st.
Yes.
So you have a few days to plan accordingly if you don't have that the microchips or the vaccinations up to date.
Little furry bubby right there.
I love that. All right, from that to this, Whataburger is celebrating the 2025 NBA Draft with free breakfast. In collaboration with the Spurs, customers can get a free honey butter chicken biscuit from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. next Wednesday, the 25th. Their promotion is available while supplies last at the locations on your screen, so it's not all of them. As for right now, the Spurs own the rights to the 2nd and 14th overall picks in the upcoming draft.
There we go. All right, it's 5:55 right now, 77 degrees outside.
All right, Gina Ortiz-Jones will soon take the oath and the spotlight as the city's next mayor in just a matter of hours. We've got a first look at her swearing-in ceremony coming up.
Skin cancer can be deadlier for people with dark skin, often called too late. We'll share critical tips for early detection that could save lives.
And drive cam Alex Gomez, for the moment, a little slow going on the northeast side. We'll check in, find out where exactly he is and what the Wednesday morning commute is looking like coming up.